saw the ashes. Yes, there are people who cremate cats here. I didn't know that either. And we have Toro's ashes here in the house. Now there are people not going that far. The cat died, they bury it in the backyard, or they put it in a bag and leave it for the garbage truck to pick it up and dispose of it in the dump. So for people like that, I consider you to be a special type of people, that special type of love for animals, and all I could do is sit back and admire that. I am not there yet, but I've learned to appreciate pets.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garth St Clair, for appearing on Animalia, and I hope to have you on again very soon, because as I mentioned in the last podcast, I've only had women guests, so you're my first male guest, and I hope this encourages more men to speak up as well about their feelings about animals and animal welfare in TNT. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So that was Garth St Clair. You should definitely like and follow Eye on Dependency on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, where you'll see all of our exploits and maybe learn a bit more about the topics we discuss there. My commentary this week about living with a partner who isn't as gung-ho about animals as you are. I know it can get a bit sticky for some of us in this situation. As much as you try and explain how important it is to extend a safe and loving home to animals who need one, dealing with a member of the family who's not so keen can be emotionally exhausting. I know. And I'll be honest, Garth and I have had many an argument about bringing another cat into the home, but thankfully his love for me and wanting to see me happy usually supersedes his fear of cat hair, as he mentioned. But seriously, this can be a source of discord in the home, especially if the family member is displaying such disdain that you fear for the animal's safety. If you're going through this, I feel your pain and I commiserate. I would suggest, however, that you try to make the transition as painless as possible for the unwilling party by attending to the animals as best as you can while encouraging them to share in the joys of a happy, healthy animal enjoying life. Those moments can bring a smile to anyone's face. With respect to Garth's comments on animal welfare in Trinidad and Tobago, and how deficient we are in punishing those committing acts of cruelty either directly or indirectly, I can say that while a lot is being done in private quarters, much more should be done at government level to provide the kinds of services we know animals and their owners require. Our own experience with Toro has taught us both so much about how law enforcement in particular is not doing their part, not only for lack of education and resources, but importantly, the lack of will to act when called upon to do so. Speaking of which, I recently spoke with the sergeant at the Forals police station about my matter with Toro, and unsurprisingly, his response was that, and I quote, "Regarding the COVID-19 restrictions, everything has been placed on hold," end quote. Now that is a full 2 months after I met with him and a corporal at the station, and they promised to arrange a meeting with me and the owners of the dogs who killed Toro, and to have the station lawyer follow up on what charges could be laid. You mean to tell me COVID stopped all that? So I may have to consider bringing a civil matter, because that seems to be the only way I will get any satisfaction, because the dogs are still roaming and still entering other people's yards, believe it or not. There's no Rescue Me segment this week, so in the meantime, if you agree that animal control services provided in TNT must be improved, please visit change.org/justice for Toro to sign the petition. And that's episode 5 of Animalia. I hope you enjoyed the slight detour we made this week. Remember that a new episode drops every Friday, and you can find the link on our socials, Animalia the Pod, on Facebook and Instagram. If you like what you hear and want to appear on the podcast, shoot me an email at animaliathepod@gmail.com or message me on the back end of the socials. Thanks again to Garth St Clair, and thank you for listening. I'm Natasha, and until next time, take good care and don't forget, love off your pets. Bye-bye.